Hi guys, welcome to my second class in C++. This class will be about variables and data types. First, we'll start with the types of variables, and after that, we will continue with declaration of a variable. And then you will see already there about types of data, and just we will give an example and we will complete this class, okay? Let's get started with the types of variables. Types, let's say, comma, sorry, not comma, like comment, types of variables. What is the types of variables? We have int, so which means integer, okay? So by the way, we can do it like that, like integer, but we're using it like int, okay? Like that. Anyway, let's come here, integer, and we can say for that, this is a round value. So no numbers after comma, okay? It's just a round value, like a 2, like a 3, like a 5, not 5.5, something like that, because it is float. It is different type of the variable, okay? So just 5 or 6 or 7. Anyway, I think you get it. It is just int, like that, okay? Another one is the float. Float means like let's say float like that. We can say floating point value. I mean, yeah, floating point, and we can say um, like a number or numbers with values. I mean, behind the comma. So we can add in this case a numbers after comma. Like let's say numbers like floating numbers after comma, okay, which means like 523, like that. Let me give you an example also in here. Round value, like let's say for example 5. Okay, maybe we can make it like that, it like that. Yes, it is just example, okay? And we just writing there float, like that, using it like that, okay? When we want to write there some numbers like with the fractional, like if you want to use the some after the comma, we just using float. We can't write them into integer. Another one is boolean, bool, so we can call it like bool, and we can say like boolean, okay? Boolean, by the way, let's get it into comma, sorry, comment. We can say boolean number, and we can, for the explanation, we can say the things can be like true or false, okay? Like we can say, yeah, either true or false, right? So, or I mean, 0 or 1, like yes, no, off, on, like that, okay? So, for example, it is like it can be true, like that. It is just example, or false, I mean, like that. And let me give you also example about their bits. It's just taking 1 bits, okay? Like 1 bit, sorry. And for the float, it is 32 bits. It is the storage data, 32 bits, and this one is 16 bits. Okay, yeah, it's just storing 1 bit, and the float just storing 32 bits when we use float numbers, and integer is just storing 16 bits. Okay, for example, like we're using like bool, like that. Okay, this type, like variable type. Okay, let's continue with the char. So we're using char like that. It means it's short case of the character. We're just using like what? Let me write here character, and for the explanation, it means like single character. Okay, like a single character. What it means, like we can use it um, for if you want to only represent there, like only character like that, not something more. Okay, just a character like A or B or C, whatever else we want to use. And we just using here only quotation, not double quotation. Double quotation means in C++ like string. Okay, using for string this one. For character, I mean for char, only quotes like that. For string, double quotation. We will talk about it because a character only representing quotes, it is not strong, but in string, if you want to write there a lot of quotes, I mean a lot of strings, so we're just using this system. Okay, that means that. I hope you understand. Let me take it there after this as an example. So it's just taking 8 bits in computer. Okay, storing 18 like 8 bits, sorry. That's all, right? Let's continue with the string now. By the way, it is like char, like that. Let's continue with the string. So for the string, it is just like a string. For explanation, like string of characters, more characters, not a character. Okay, more characters. A of string of more characters. I mean, and it's just I don't know how much storing, but I think as I know before, it is like unknowing, but I'm not sure for now. Okay, we can check later maybe how many like bits it's storing. But I'm not sure about that. Okay, it's just for an example. Let me add after that. It's like with the double quotation, like something else like that. Okay. All right, this is just string, and we're using some library to import it. I will show you later about it. And we're using double. So by the way, I forgot to add here for float. We just adding after this value, like after floating number f to represent this is float. Okay, don't forget it because in other case, if you didn't add this f to represent this float, it will be like double float. Okay, so for that we just adding f to represent it as floating number, like float number. Okay, because float is like 5, let's say 5.23 or like something more. Double means like we can add like 5, we can add, sorry, a lot of numbers like that. Okay, but for float we can add some numbers like that and we need to represent it like that. Okay, so for double, it is like double. Let me add here double. All right, we just saying to explain it like the value of the float, like this doubles the value of the float. Okay, this this doubles the the value of the float. Yeah, floating numbers. I mean, float. Okay. So we can say for that it is 64 bits. It is really storing a lot data. I mean, because we just using like a pi number, like, like, and we have a lot of numbers there, just storing little more than 32. I mean, it is 64 bits. Okay, we're using that like double, and we don't need to add after numbers like, let's say, 5 point some number. We don't need to add here f or d, something like that. It's just double. If we didn't add for that 2f, it will be again double. Okay, in this case it will look like double. When you add it f, we will, like, computer will know it is float. Okay, not double. But if you didn't add, computer will know as this is double. If you add like that, the computer still will know that double. And if you add here f, it will not work because the floating numbers only storing 32 bits. Okay, like that, not 64 bits. This is another case. For example, if we give an example for that, it will be like what? Say 5 point some numbers like that. Okay, so let's continue with the some cool operator, how to say that, some some helper variables. More than this, we're using also these variables. I mean, sign it, for example, like sign it, like that. This gives a variable the possibility to be positive and negative. I mean, we can say sign it integer, and let's say number one. I mean, it could be like minus something like that, or even normal like that, like positive. But in other way, we can't use it like integer number one and minus something else. We can't use it like that. Okay, we need to use their sign it, for example. Okay, let's say sign it, but before that, let's do it like sign it, and say for that the to possibility to be positive and negative. I mean, yeah, to be positive and negative. But yeah, for variable, I think, let's say gives variable possibility. I mean, the possibility and yeah, positive and negative. If you use that, and it is like sign it. I will just separate this guys from there because it is little different, not like them. Okay, we're just using front of this guys. I mean, okay, we have also unsign it. What it means, unsign it, unsign it, unsign it. We're using only for the positive. Okay, so we can't use unsign it with the negative numbers. For example, with this guy. Okay, let's say in here, uh, like either minus some number and, or let's say, or plus some number. Okay, so in this case, use it like that just for explanation. We can use for positive and negative if you're using the sign it. Unsign it is like forces a value, forces value like to be only positive in this case. Okay, so by the way, it can be large. I mean, and let's say positive, only positive, and it can be large. like double, I mean, like twice as large, okay? Let's say twice as large. Using it like unsign it like that, okay? Only for positive numbers. I hope you understand what I mean, right? You can say, for the example, you can say like big integers like that, like a lot numbers, okay? Not like only two or three, four numbers like that. We can use a lot of numbers when we want to represent big integers like that, okay? We're using unsigned before integer and or before float, I mean, before double, I mean, or yeah. You can use sign it also with integer before integer. I mean, like, we can say sign it integer, like n1. Let's say we can use it like for the negative number like that. And we can say same thing like sign it integer number 2. We can use for the positive. For the unsigned, we can say unsigned integer number 1. And we can just use for positive like long numbers like that, okay? By the way, let's do it like that in this case. Okay, it means that, okay, for positive like large number, I mean, I hope you understand. So let's look for the long. It is another way to write long numbers. You can say long, and so it just doubles the value of the variable, okay? Like doubles the, the value of doubles the value of values of or value of the variable. This is another one. What it means, like even we can say long integer, and then we can say number 1, and we can just add some number like that, okay? Means we can make it longer, I mean. So this is another way, as I tell you before. We can use it like more numbers like that, I mean longer numbers. Just make it like little like that, okay? We can just add plus to just be sure, I mean, like what we are doing, okay? And in here, maybe we made it long. So we have also long, and we just say for long, by the way, we're using long like that. And we have also long. This is another thing, like variable we adding before the integer or float or whatever else we want. It just doubles the value of the variables, and it's just doubling again, like doubles again, double mm, doubles again, I mean, okay? Using long, let's say integer number 1, and we're just adding a lot of numbers like that, okay? We can use it like that. Can add here this guy like that, big integer. We can use for the double too, okay? Like, I mean, float and double. We have double, we can use with the double variable. Yeah, we're using that like long, like that, okay? Yes, we already done first part. So this guys is just special guys, like when we want to indicate something. And this guys is usual guys we using generally for about our things, okay? our variables as usual variables, and do like something like that. Separate it. You can just note it, or you can tag whenever, like whatever you want to use on a. All right, now let's start for the declaration of variable. Let's say declaration of variables. Where is it? Variable. Yeah. So we just saying type. I mean, like type, and we have name, and we just put in comma. All right. It means like, let's say type is integer, name is n1, like variable name, and we're just adding this one as a null in this case. Okay, like 0, like that. You can think like that. Okay, the other way is we can do that with the type and name equals value. In this case, we can indicate the value like what? We can say integer number 1, number 2, or number 1, let's say, and value is like 12, like that. Type is integer, name is the n1, value is the 12. And the other way, we can do it like modifier, which is these guys are modifier. We can say they are modifier. Okay, modifier. Maybe it is good if I add it in here like a modifier. Okay, that let's come down. Modifier. So first we can add our modifier. We can say modifier, and we can add type. Type means which is we using in here, right? This guys are types, type of the variables, and this guys are modifier. In here we have modifier. In this case it can be signed, unsigned, long, and long. And for the type it can be double, float, like char, bool, and anything else. I mean, okay. So it means like modifier, type, then name, like variable name, and comma. So let me give you an example. We can say long integer. Yeah. Name is number 1. Yeah, like that. This is just null. Okay, we can work on it. Like we can input and something, and after that we can work on it. It is another example I just give you. Yes, so we can do a lot with it. I mean, I just showed you some example to make you sure about this topic. I hope you understand what I mean. Now let's use this guys in program. So you already knowing about architecture of program. Let's apply everything at the same time together. Oh, we will do that. Are you ready to do it? I believe you're ready. Okay, let's get started. What I'm gonna do, I will say include, but before include, we need to add hashtag. Hashtag means like we will import something before start program. Okay, we will say include, and after that we will say IO stream. It is our standard library, right? Input output stream. So it is our library, standard library, we just importing in our VS Code editor. I mean, yeah, I like IDE. And after that, we just saying include string. In this case, we will include string, as I mentioned before. So in C++, we need to import the string to work on it. Okay. If we didn't import this, we can't create this string variable, type of variable string, like that. Okay. But in this case, it will work because we already included into that. Then we're saying using namespace, yeah, std, this short case of the standard, which is we using to didn't write each time like std and blah 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 like that, right? We're just using namespace std to just escape from this shit. Sorry, I mean, yeah, did you understand? Then like if we add this namespace std in here, then we can use this except of this std only like count, right? In other way, we need to use std if we didn't use that, right? Okay, I hope you understand. Let's continue. So we're just gonna um, create our function to just call the operating system. We're just saying integer main, yeah, integer main. Because it is integer because we just calling operating system with the 1 or 0 in this case. Like if it is 0, everything okay. If it is 1, there is some problems, okay? Anyway, don't think about it too much. Let's start from here. So first, let's start our first integer variable with the value. I mean, okay, let's say integer my integer. Let's say yes, my integer, and let's say it is 3 in this case. Yeah, it is just like that. Integer, my integer, and we just said 3, and we put comma. Comma means like we ended our things, our operation. If you didn't add this, the computer will think you will write there something, some codes. Still you continue writing, okay? If you add comma, then computer will say, all right, okay, I get you complete this, you done this, right? We're using type integer. It is like numbers, like integer numbers, right? Like that. And we putting there, like we're creating our variable name, and we saying variable name is the my integer. It is type of the integer, and the value is the 3. All right, let's do the same thing for the float. So we're saying float, my float. We just saying 5.14 like that. All right, let's say I added in here this comma. Oh, you remember I told you, like, if we didn't represent this end of this with the f, which means like float, okay? F means if you didn't add it, computer will think this is not float. Okay, you added here float, but computer will say this is not float. This is double. Okay, computer will think like that. Okay, in this case, we just need to add f in here to represent it. Let's continue with the other one. So bool, my at first we saying bool, it is just true or false, right? My, let's say my bool. We can say just like true, okay? False, I don't know which one you want to use, but in this case we can say true. Just representing it like that. Type is blue, type like a variable name is my bool, and the value is the true, okay? Let's continue. We have char. Let's say my char, but before that, add here char and say my char. And come here and just say, you know, like C. Guys, we can't add a lot of strings in here. We can add only a character, not characters like that. Only a character with quotation, not like double quotation like that. This double quotation, okay? We're just using it like quotation, okay? Like that. And we're just adding our only a character, not more than this, not like something more, okay? Just a character with the quotation, not double quotation. I hope you understand. Okay, let's say um yeah, let's use string now. Maybe we can use string, or I don't know, maybe double. Let's use double. Let's say double, and we can say my double, my double, and now we will add there some double number. I mean, let's say 5 point some more numbers. I mean, okay, like that. Maybe, yeah, like that. Just close that. Okay. What happening? Like in this case, we just made it little long, like fractional number, right? Like not like float. It is like longer than float number. Now we can say string. Let's use string, guys. I will separate it because we already included string from the standard library to use it in here. We just set string, and after that we will say my string, and we will use with the double quotation. I can say my name, like my name is Mohammed, like that. Okay, this is our string. We can add a lot of characters like that. Okay, but for the char we can use only a character. Let's close that with a comma. So semicolon, sorry, not comma. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, let's use this guys, for example. Where is that? Like sign it, unsign it, long, long, long. Let's use sign it, unsign it, long, long, long. Okay, how we will use that? We can use this, guys, like that. Let's say for the sign it, we said this is just positive and negative numbers. We can use for positive and for negative numbers, right? We can say sign it integer. Let's say my positive, let's say my positive number, like that. And we can say just some numbers like that. And we can say again, sign it integer my negative number, like that. And we can use this guy like that. We can use this, guys, with the sign it. For unsign it, we can use only for what? Are you remember that? For unsign it, we can use only for positive numbers and as large as we think in here. So let's do that. Let's say unsign it integer my positive long integer. Let's say integer, and just add there a lot of numbers like that. It is just positive with the plus, okay? And yeah, we can do only one thing with it. And for the long, so what can we do? In this case, I can add there, like, let's say long integer, and let's say my long integer, and we can just say some integer numbers like that, okay? And for long long, we can say my long long, let's say integer. We can add there a lot of numbers like that. We can use it like that. If you try with the this one, it will not work. By the way, it's saying too large. So this lot, maybe we can decrease it because it's all about data. It's storing not too much than these numbers. Okay. All right. We can check it with the type. I mean, like how much data storing. Okay, maybe if we add here more numbers, it will say same things for that. What do you think? Not bad. I think, yeah, its constant is too large. What will happen if I do it like that? I think it will give error, but anyway, don't don't think about that right now. Okay, we did everything for them. Now the time for the run, right? We want to see the result. We can come here and we can just say count, which is character output, as you remember, right? G out. Then we putting this reverse operator, like the less, and after that, we're just adding our variable name. My integer is our first variable name. We just want to display out this one, right? It is 3 and we want to display out. We can put again less like that, and we can say endl. Endl means like new line, end line, I mean, like that. And we're just adding there this comma. Okay, I don't want to write a lot of quotes like that. Let's um uh why let's do it a lot like that, and then let's add all of them in here step by step, and let's display and see what will happen. Okay, double and my string, and yeah, maybe we can separate them just to see the result. Okay, the other one will be my positive integer, I think this one, right? Number, sorry, number. Let's say my positive number, tag it, put it here. My negative number, let's tag it, put it here. My positive long integer, let's separate it too and add it here. By the way, let's tag this guy and come down again like that, and add this one there, this one, sorry, this one here. Everything is ready. Are you ready to run this program? If yes, we need to do one more thing. Let's run it first and see what will happen. My long integer is too long. Okay, let's make it little, like, not much longer. Okay. Okay, now let's run it and see what will happen. Okay. Variable and data types. Our file already come out. This is our application. I mean, now it will display out whatever we want. Okay, where is output? Okay, I think I need to write there some code to display out that. Say dot, put reverse, and then put the name of this variable. So variable, let's do GCC. And by the way, we already created it, but I will try it again. Variable and data types. Where is it? Oh my god. So let's do it in steps, guys. Step by step. Okay. Let's say we have already that. Let's run it. I mean, we can say dot. Is that dot? No. Yeah. Like that. And put there the name of this variable. Oh my god. I just forget to go to the file. I mean, yeah. Let's go file first. I mean, let's go to the C++ course and go introduction, and then now run in here this guy. So we can just say that, use that one, and say the file name. In this case, it will be what variable and data types, not cpp exe. Run it. Good. The first one is my integer is value is the 3 and output is the 3. My float is 5.14, like 5.14, and it is 5.14 point 14, right? Like floating number. And my bool is true, and in this case it is 1. Why? I don't understand. um True means like why it comes like 1. I don't really understand that. So what's going on there? Let's say false. In this case it will be, I think, 0, isn't it? All right, what happened right now? Is it still 1? All right, yeah, it's still 1. I don't understand what's going on there. It is my bool in here. I think it has to be my float, my bool. I think, yeah, it has to be 0 in this case. Why it works like that? Let's check it again, please. Okay, didn't get it. Why bool is false like that? It gives you this one. I don't know what is wrong in here. Let's do it again. True. And let's run it, guys. Happen. All right. It is 1. I don't understand why it is 1, but it means like true, I think, in this case, okay? My bool is my bool in here, and nothing wrong there. I mean, maybe just delete this one and see what will happen. I mean, you know, um, like that. Maybe just thinking about that is still 1. All right, let's run this guy. Just want to run this file. Let's say dot backslash and the variable and data types exe. Let's say exe. Wait, it's still 1c. What? All right, it is still 1. I don't understand, guys. This what it means. Okay, but it has to be like. I mean, it has to be true. Okay, in this case, let's say my bool. Let's say my bool like that. Let's run it again. What's going on in here? I don't understand really. Run it. Is that 1c? I already add there like handle. Why it max it like that? I don't understand. Oh my god. Run code, say run code. Yeah, it is 3. Anyway, it is just true, okay? Like it normally it has to give you true, but in this case I don't know why it gives like 1. I mean, we'll talk about it later. So, and we have my char is C, and in this case we have C, okay? And for the this one, my double, we added there some double numbers. I mean, you can see in here for double, right? Double fractional numbers with the floating numbers. I mean, for the string, we set my name is Mohammed, and it works for like that. And for the signed integer, which is we use like positive number first, it is here. For this one, we use it negative number, and it is here with the signed, both of them. And for unsigned, we use some long integer, I mean, like positive long integer, and it's in here. And we use it for the long integer, like this number, it is in here. And we have here like my long integer, sorry, my long integer, this is big one, and it is in here. Everything in here. I hope you understand what we did, right? So that's all, guys, for this class. I hope you enjoy it during that class and you learn it about types of variables, modifiers, and declaration of variables, and our example program in here. If you understand, I'm happy. If you not understand, please write your comments in description and I will check your comments and I will reply in my below of my video. Thank you so much for your joining for this class. The next lesson will be about input and output. Thank you so much and good day.